What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out U.S. Army Sniper School Rifle Familiarization, Ghillie Suit Camouflage, and Stalking. This is by Air Source Military. I think I've watched some of their videos in the past. I really like these videos where it's literally just footage. There's no talk over, there's no nothing. It's just footage so that we can look at it, we can break it down, and we can talk about what's going on. And I can use my skills from the Royal Marines Commandos to try and translate some stuff, what's going on, for people who may not know what's going on. So yeah, this is by Air Source Military. If you want to watch the original video, down in the description below, as it always is, it's down there for you to click and have some fun with. I've got a cool thing to show you in the next couple days. A friend of mine's doing a charity thing that I'm excited to talk to you about. But there's nothing really else I need to talk to about just now. Yeah, links down below to all my usual stuff. Let's check this out. Let's have some fun and let's learn what the US Army are doing with their snipers. All right, so they're in the Oggin, which is always nice to see. You got to get in the water. You just got to do it. Sniper school. Someone hit that sign.
To the rear. All right.
Weapon familiarization.
Your charging handle all the way to the rear, so that way you know where to stop. Okay, good.
If anyone's shot one of these rifles before, I don't know what this one is. Again, my rifle recognition isn't amazing.
Time up on your toes and elbows, pushing forward, trying to get good shoulder pressure.
If someone wants to let me know what it is, and specifically if you've shot it, let me know.
We're just not putting that much pressure onto it, because that attachment that he's talking about, right at the top of the bipod, that pop metal, that repeated recoil, as you're pressed in.
Okay, come on.
First thing I've noticed here with the familiarization right here with the rifle, looks like some sort of AR variant. It's a very relaxed state. Obviously, people going to sniper school are already soldiers. Same with the Royal Marines. You've got to be a Royal Marine first and foremost before you can go and do your snipes course. And so it looks like a very relaxed kind of method of teaching, which I always feel is a very good way to get people to learn quickly. Like, bring their curiosity in and teach them. Obviously, the hardcore military, strict way of teaching has its place, especially for people who are not soldiers. But at this stage of the game, they're able to just relax and learn.
Is it? Magnify all the way?
It doesn't have to be. I like that moleskin because him to be able to receive the recoil and then settle back on the target. If he's canned in any way possible, it won't necessarily.
Did I see that last guy didn't? His trigger guard was gone, or is it just?
It doesn't have to be.
Let's have a look. Oh no, it was just the angle of the.
Receive the recoil and then settle back on the target.
It was just the angle.
If he's canned in any way possible, it won't necessarily affect that initial shot, but a follow-on shot, he's going to have to reacquire that target.
Line all the way around, or there's no black outline?
No black outline.
Okay, so there's no black outline. All right, so now what I want you to do is close your eyes, wiggle your head just a little bit. Okay, come back to your natural resting position, and open your eye again.
Anybody right now think they get
right there.
It's to your left.
So they're doing, you know, they're keeping an eye on people's positions. That's something you kind of go over. And again, I didn't do snipers. I only did my regular Royal Marines Commando training. And so fire position is something that we go over a lot in the Royal Marines. And it's literally all your points of contact, making sure that you're relaxed, making sure you're in a good state to be able to get that round down and not be uncomfortable. It's really important, because if you're uncomfortable, you're going to want to move out of position, which means you've got to realign and all that stuff. So it's actually very important, even more important, I'm sure, for snipers.
Yeah, look good. We want to be able to rest our head comfortably onto the rifle. I need one. Okay, so.
Adjusting the scope. Nice. Nice. So even though they are trained soldiers, they still have to go through the motions, right? They still have to go through it all. They have to learn how to be, you know, how to move around certain terrain. This is never fun, this type of thing, but it's got to be done, right? There's that old thing where if you've done it before, you can do it again. You know what you're capable of doing, right? That's why in the Royal Marines we do the 30 miler. That's why we do these extreme forms of training. It means if you go in the field, if you're actually on operations, you can always reflect back on what you've done in the past and be like, all right, I know I can do this. You know your abilities, you know what your body's capable of. And although this looks like just them crawling through mud, it's just them reassuring that they know what they're able to do and they know what they can do because of previous experiences if they have to do it in the field. Not fun. Never fun. You see this guy at the back, he moved his friggin'... I mean, it's not really ghillie suit, is it, at this point? It's like very basic camouflage, but he moved it away from his head like it's a bit of hair. Watch. That's so funny. You just got to embrace it at that point and just be aware that, you know, it is what it is. I've been in that position countless times before. It is what it is, you know.
There you go. All right, kick them feet. Kick them feet. All right, turn the water. Turn the water.
Oh, right next to someone's head as well. That sucks. But again, it's fine. It'll be over soon. That's what you got to tell yourself. This guy's smiling at the back over here. Oh, yeah. Some ad route. This is just a bit of a workout. I'm going to turn it down and talk over it while there's a bit of a workout here. I was never good with the ab stuff. You know, any type of... I mean, sit-ups I was okay with, but when it's leg raises, I always struggle with leg raises. I only have the one ab. Do you know what I mean? Even when I was peak fitness in the Royal Marines, I never really had, like, defined abs. It was just, like, one ab at all times. I'll have to find some pictures for you guys. But here they're just doing, you know, they're just doing the classic workouts, you know, the classic beating in the military that you always get. There's nothing special happening here. There's nothing sniper-esque happening here, really.
But I ain't sniper, buddy.
You could say that the staying low is sniper-esque. But the truth is, you learn this stuff in basic as well, right? Staying low to the ground, minimal movement. It's just the fact that, and they might not show it, but the more extreme version is when they do get the ghillie suit on and do camouflage themselves and have to get from point A to point B. That's when it gets tricky. We had this test in the Royal Marines, which I thought was really fun, where there's like this giant field with certain shrubs around, and the training team is sat on top of a hill, and everyone starts like half a mile back. And basically, you've got to get from there to basically where the training team is without being detected. And the closer you get, the more points you earn. And yeah, it's a really fun exercise because there are like kind of little paths you can go down and stuff like that. Kind of like that river, there's like certain paths you can go down. But the problem with that is you're easier to spot when you're in a path, right? It's almost better to be off the path a little bit and be in the shrubs. Be in the grass a little bit. It's all about your confidence. Obviously, that what we just saw then was just them being, you know, beasted a bit. This looks like they're really going through the ghillie suit at this point. But to try and get as close as you can to the training team, and some of the lads on the training team are trained snipers, so they're really good at picking it out, you know, picking you out. I remember I got probably like halfway. I wasn't the best. I wasn't the worst either. But I gave it a good shot, and I really enjoyed that exercise because it's a good test of learning about what they're going to do here with their camouflage. And I'm waffling on a lot here, and I do apologize. Is they're using a regular ghillie suit, and then they're using the shrubs and the grass and the terrain around them to add to that ghillie suit to make it look better for their environment that they're in at that time. And so when we did it in the Royal Marines, it gives us the confidence of knowing what we're able to do, knowing our capabilities of taking the shrubs around us and implementing it on our own ghillie suit that we made ourselves and advancing as much forward as we possibly can. And I feel like it is a very, very good test of your knowledge, a very good test of what you've been taught. And we've talked about this in the past about how learning, like using your equipment is not only building your own confidence, but building your confidence in your equipment. That's what they're also going to be doing here, is they're building confidence in their ghillie suit. So that, you know, when push comes to shove and shit's going down, they have confidence in their suit. I'm waffling on here a lot, aren't I apologize. That's the whole point of this channel, though. If you want to go watch it without me waffling it, link down below. So yeah, they're using the terrain around them to add to their ghillie suit here. You don't want like a bunch of nettles on you and you're in the middle of a grassland. Do you know what I mean? Another thing they want to do as well is break up any straight lines. One thing we got taught in the military is there's practically no straight lines in nature. All right, everything's a little bit off to the side or curved or jagged, and so any part of your silhouette needs to be broken up with bits of shrubbery. Shrubbery. It's a good word to say. What was he saying there?
Of time before all these green leaves start turning brown or some other funky color.
Okay, so he's talking about the leaves that they're picking. They are going to die eventually. I wouldn't worry too much about that unless you're going to be in an OP for like doing some sort of recce for like weeks and weeks and weeks. Then I wouldn't worry about that too much. But again, this is sniper stuff, right? They're good. If anyone's going to be in a recce for weeks, it's going to be a sniper. And so, yeah, I guess for them it does make sense. For what I was doing personally in the Royal Marines, it wasn't really a worry.
That grass will still last you a little while, but same thing, not terribly long.
I did hear of a story when I was in training of a sniper and a recce team where they found like a small hill and they literally dug out the top of the hill, built a OP in top, a recce point in the top, and then put the top of the hill back on and stayed there for weeks. So you imagine the amount of work it takes to stay camouflage is a lot. It's a lot of work. And for a sniper, they're going to go into that a lot more than what it was when I was in training. There you go. So as you can see, their silhouette is completely gone. Super important to get rid of that silhouette.
Think about the ticking of a clock. Okay?
The other thing that the instructors weren't saying there is the placement of the leaves and the branches and the bushes that are on you, that you put on you, is super important. You don't want to put twigs upside down in you. You don't want to put leaves upside down because leaves are always facing one way. They're facing towards the sun, right? And so if you've got all your shrubbery upside down, like here, you can see all the leaves are facing the right way. There's some here that are falling down a little bit, which you need to be careful of, but you need to be staying the same as, like, look at this one right here that's facing the complete opposite way. That should be turned around, really.
Do not pick your head off the ground.
But you're not going to get it 100% correct.
That was all the way out. Remember,
All this back here should be broken up. My presumption is they're just testing certain parts. They're just going through little parts of training, right, with the sniper school. All this back half here should be broken up, all their silhouette. We would put, you know, bits of grass in our boots, in our laces, all over the place. But again, we don't have the context of this part of sniper school here, do we? So we don't know what they're actually, you know, learning at this very specific part.
you're doing the sniper crawl.
We also got graded on the camouflage. So before we did the part where we climb up to the hill, they stood us all up and like, okay, this is good. You'll get points for this. You don't get points for this. And that's why I learned about the leaves being upside down and all that lot. I mean, that looks great. Like where I've paused it there, if I didn't tell you this was a sniper school, you wouldn't even, that could have just been a bunch of bushes, right? And that's because his silhouette's completely gone there. Very good.
Then they got it.
I mean, look how many people stood up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think there was a fifth one off to the side there. Let's look at when they sat down. if I just pause it there and tell you there's 5 people there, I mean, apart from a little bit of rifle here, a little bit of a muzzle here, like, you're not going to tell, are you? Especially if you're not high up, if you're not on a hill, you're not looking at the back legs and the legs are exposed. Like, you're not going to be... Yeah, you might look and be like, maybe this has been trampled on or walked through because there's leaves that are upside down here and they're a little bit off, right? But you don't think, oh, there's 5 people lay there.
And then they got it.
You know? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, yeah, there's another one, the 5th to the left of the screen.
Go ahead and pull your bales off for a minute. You got one source on you, go ahead and drink some water.
Brilliant. I mean, they're more advanced than I am when it comes to shooting, right?
No, I got it, sir.
I'm not critiquing them. I hope people are aware of that.
For the next 6 months.
That's an interesting viewpoint. I'm wondering if this is coming again. We don't have context with some of this video, do we? If this is them standing up to make a shot, because really and truthfully, this whole net here, although probably good from a long distance, viewing face on the rifle, because you're not going to be looking at it hopefully from the side on. You would expect all this to be broke up as well. Look, his leg here and his arm. Again, that's me nitpicking something that I'm not totally aware of the context of this part of training.
They can just fuck off. I would roll the truck over my fucking body. Get really drunk.
What's this guy talking about?
Right at 2, sorry.
Okay, so 2 mils.
Or like right now.
Oh, so he's got a stand there.
I'll mill.
Alright, just tell me what the mill that you would. I'll be your spotter.
Is he gonna get some rounds down, or is it just practice still? I mean, look at the head here. This top part here is brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. Silhouette's completely broke up there. Obviously, the silhouette of the rifle isn't in the arm, but
Now this is just black standing out.
Are they actually going to fire? Are they going to fire a blank?
No, they don't have blanks right now. They will have blanks.
great bit of footage there. I really I specifically liked talking about through this part here, where they're moving across the ground. Because this is what I did in training, right? Not to the extent of a sniper, but we still had to, you know, be aware of people trying to spot us. This was a really big part of I can't remember what part of training it was at. But yeah, you had to get from point A to point B without them seeing you, and you have to do that by being very good at adding to your ghillie suit. You had to make a ghillie suit, which is hard in itself. Like, is you know, you got to really work hard on that ghillie suit. Really work hard on it. And add a lot of stuff to it when you get there, right? And trading things out, that's another thing as well. One thing that we learned as well, and I'm trying to really go back to 2008 when I did training. I remember specifically them telling us, if you're crawling through terrain, right? Maybe you're going from a grassy area and then there's like a bunch of bushes. Like, you don't want to be covered in grass and then go into the bushes and look like a bit of grass going across bushes, and then, do you know what I mean? And so sometimes they'll be like, if you've got the time and you've got the downtime and you're crawling and you haven't been seen, replace a bit of your foliage inside of your ghillie suit and then crack on a little bit more. It takes a lot of time. You have to be very patient. I remember this moving from point A to point B was like a 4 or 5 hour exercise. It was a long time. It was only half a mile. You're crawling like every centimeter, every inch is a new win. Do you know what I mean? Especially when you've got Royal Marines, trained Royal Marines on the hill, some Royal Marine snipers, mountain leaders, looking down, right? They're looking down at you, trying to spot you. And you've got an area that you can be in. It's fenced off, right? Well, it's not fenced off, but it's like lined off. You're not allowed past these points. There's maybe a couple of trees. It's mostly bushes. I wonder if I could find some footage of it, because it was really good. Royal Marines training ghillie suit. Maybe not. They got the sniper training. I'm just looking. Commando on the front line. What a show. Great show. But there's a video here that the Royal Marines have done for their sniper training. Obviously, I didn't do sniper training, but you can look at the terrain. There's this here is called gorse. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. You can see they've broken up the silhouette. This is the so this is perfect for me telling you exactly what I was going on about. This is exactly what the terrain looks like in training. You can imagine some training team, and I hope you can see my cursor, top left here, sat on the top here, and you're far down on the bottom here, and you have to make your way to the very top. That is pretty much what it's like in training. It's very much this terrain where it's a lot of gorse, a lot of dried grass, especially depending on what time of the year you're in. And this is the environment that we were doing it in. And I tell you what, crawling through that is fucking horrific. Absolutely horrific. Camouflage is good there, right? But again, that's the Royal Marines. Oh, who's that handsome chap right there? But yeah, I mean, 11 days ago, how the Royal Marines become deadly snipers. Oh, maybe we'll watch that in the future. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I could go on a lot about you know, camouflage and ghillie suits and stuff like that. Obviously, I wasn't a sniper, but as a Royal Marines commando, earning this green lid, right? You really do have to know. You have to become a very much a jack of all trades of soldiering and making sure that your camouflage is on point. Even just like your cam cream on your arms, on your face, on your hands. People think it looks like friggin', you know, you make it look like Rambo where it's like 3 stripes down your... No. You need it to be very patchy, very like all over the place. The more you mess it up, the better. So yeah, really good video. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Have you done this type of training before? Did you nitpick any of that army school sniper training footage that we watched by Air Source Military, link down below? Was there anything there that you liked, that you didn't like? I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comment section down below, especially if you're a trained soldier or if you know much about training. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Fantastic video. We've got some great videos coming up this week. I hope you stay tuned. Make sure you like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And until next time, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.